Hi guys, welcome to my channel Elemental Leather. This video is going to be about my journey starting the leathercraft hobby back in December of 2023. I'm just going to share some of my learnings and my mistakes while I was getting into this hobby. And if you're a beginner in India looking to get started in leathercraft, probably you can learn a thing or two from watching this video. So let's get started. So let me just show you guys the things that I initially picked up when I started this hobby. The first, of course, is this cutting mat, which is A3 sized, and it's a comfortable one and a decent sized. And the next is this pair of needles that I picked up for stitching. And the next is this designer knife, which also came with few spare blades, which was neat, and that's extremely lightweight as well. And the next is this punch with which we can make holes in our leather. And the next is this black wax thread. I would say it's heavily waxed. And last but not least, the leather itself. I picked up chrome tanned leather in two different shades, one in this shade and the other in this one. And altogether, all these 6 items together costed me about 1100, and this is how I initially got started. And now let me just share some of the mistakes and the learnings that I had with this purchase and what was I able to do with these things that I got. To start off, this thread which we see here in the color black is braided, and it's extremely waxed, and not a good thread, I would say, at least in terms of the size for the project that I was getting into. I wanted to make a simple card holder which was and this thread was extremely large for the project that I was getting into, hence I hardly ever used this. And these needles were completely fine. I didn't find any issues with them, although they are pointy and sharp. I had to blunt them down a bit, but they're still quite sharp. I may have to blunt them even more. And moving on, this blade. So this was a complete letdown for me. Although it's extremely light and it's really comfortable to use with, but it doesn't hold its sharpness quite well. And within 2 days, I had gone through all of the spare blades as well, which came with this, which was quite disappointing. And this, I don't know about this punch, which I never used. I thought I would need it, but till date I've never used this, never felt the need to use this. And I'll tell you how I made my holes. I didn't use these though. So let me just move these aside and let me show you the issues with the leather as well, or I'd say the learnings that I got. So this was the very first thing that I picked up, and I was unsure of what to buy. And I just asked the guy there to show me something to get started with, and he gave me this. And I just picked it up. And this is a good leather, but it's not evenly finished. As you can see, one side is extremely fibrous and the other side is not so much. So again, I was not able to use this for any of the things that I wanted to make. And I did try to use this to learn how to stitch, and you can see the thread that I used and how it turned out to be. Although I was a complete beginner, so I wouldn't complain much. But yes, this leather was not a good pick, and I would suggest you as well to not get into chrome tanned leather as your first choice. Vegetable tan is a better choice if you have the option to get it. And this piece of black leather, which is goat skinned, this was something that I saw in the shop, and I asked the guy to show it to me, and I really liked it. This was the first thing that I really liked it. I loved the touch, how it felt. It's really smooth and it's evenly finished. on the backside as well. It's quite smooth as well. So this was something that I picked up along with the other one. And let me now show you what I made with this piece of leather. So this is the very first thing that I ever made out of leather from the products that I had got. And this is a simple card holder with two slots. Each can hold two cards each, so maximum of four cards in this. And the story how I made this is quite interesting. So I didn't have a pricking iron or a stitching iron to mark the holes. So all I did was take a ruler and mark the edges, and from there I just calculated 4 millimeters on from the start to the end, and start poking holes into the leather using a needle. And later I used this cable holder, which comes in this fashion. Yep, so this is a cable holder that usually carpenters use. So I use this to punch the holes through the leather, and yep, I did this all around, and I did not use the thread that I had got because it's extremely thick, waxy, and it looked really ugly when I tried to do something with it. So I used a different polyester thread that I had lying around in the house, which was quite good for this project, and it didn't give me much trouble while stitching as well. And let me give you a close-up of the stitching and also the edge that I really tried to give a finish. I used wax, I used all sorts of things to get it to a smooth finish, but yep, chrome tanned being chrome tanned, almost impossible to get a good finish on the edges. So let me just show you the close-up. And as you saw from the close-up, the stitching is okayish and the edges are horrific. Yep, nothing much to expect from a chrome tan leather. So this was the very first thing that I ever made using these makeshift items that I had lying around. Yep, I didn't have any professional leather tools to make it, but yes, I did make it. And yeah, there were several mistakes. As you can see, the corners are also not even, but I did use this as my daily driver to keep my cards safe and in my pocket. And yep, that's been my journey, how I started this leathercraft hobby. And do let me know in the comments how you started this, and what were your mistakes and what were your learnings from this hobby or this leathercraft journey. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.